everybody. Welcome back to Dear Romance Writer, where three writers who always deliver happily ever afters offer questionable advice to all of your relationship, work, and life problems. We are super excited to be back here for 2022. Yay! We missed all of you. I am Avery Flynn.
And I am Xio Axelrod. Unfortunately, Ron's not here with us today. She is in New York doing all New York type things, but she did a TED Talk. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you guys have to check out her TED Talk. She posted it on her Instagram. So if you're missing Rowan like we are, go check out her TED Talk. But today we have a really awesome guest, another awesome guest. Mariah Ankenman is here with us, and she is a best-selling author. She's like the master of hair color. She's an amazing TikTok star. You guys have to check her out.
Yes.
But please, Mariah, tell everybody about
great
yourself.
Writer advice on TikTok.
Totally.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Mariah Ankenman. I write sassy and swoon-worthy romance. And yes, I am 100% addicted to TikTok. I love it. And also to dyeing my hair and tattoos. I love it all.
And
yeah,
it is a good combo. And I might be dyeing my hair a special color to match my upcoming release, which is The Dating Dilemma.
Oh, you guys, if
I'm
you're not on
so
YouTube, you got to see this cover.
on podcast.
Go to YouTube.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, yeah, channel. Like this cover is so like sex. It's a firefighter romance, so of course you got to have the bare chest.
It's ab-lickalicious.
Ab-lickalicious. That's a great new word.
I'm so shocked TikTok didn't censor like my cover reveal, because you can, on the suspender, you can kind of see like a quarter of his nipple, and usually they're like, oh no,
we mustn't have that. Oh, no.
Yeah. So I'm surprised they're letting it stay
all of
up.
this thirst traps? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Not that I've ever seen one.
They don't like us. They
well,
don't
like
like
the guy who
romance
interrupts
writers.
them. I always see the guy who interrupts them.
What you watching?
Yeah.
What you
doing? What you doing?
He needs to be in a story. He would be a wonderful romance hero. I love him.
He's awesome.
That would be hilarious. That's somebody's older brother. That's totally what that is.
Right?
That's somebody's big brother.
Yeah.
Brother. Yes. Best friend's brother romance. I could see that.
Well, we are so happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
I got so distracted by the firefighter abs. Tell us the name of the book again and when it is coming out.
Oh, yes.
The name of the book is The Dating Dilemma, and it comes out January 24th. It is the second in the Mile High Firefighter series, but they can all be read as standalones.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, welcome.
Oh my goodness. And this sun is coming in through my window. I'm just gonna.
You're glowy. You're all glowing.
I am. Yeah. I'm glowy.
She's like an angel.
Yeah.
All right. So it is a new year. Unfortunately, there's
is it though?
A lot. Yeah.
Isn't this 2020 part 3?
Yeah.
It's 2020.
The sequel.
It's the electric boogaloo. Yeah, 2020. I don't know. It's
straight to DVD.
Straight.
Yeah, this should be
DVD. Not even. But Happy New Year to everybody listening. Happy New Year to you guys. Before we get to our letter, I have to ask you, because I need some hope. Give me something fun or silly or amusing that has happened so far in 2022 for you.
Fun or silly or amusing?
I'm like, come on, give it to me.
I mean, Mr. X decided that like over the holidays, when he's working out, he watches random YouTube videos. Sometimes it's a workout video, but sometimes it's like cars or whatever. And he watched a bread baking video. And I have to preface this by saying that he doesn't really eat that much bread. But he decided that he wanted to try. I know. Well, yeah. He wanted to try to make bread for some reason. He's like, well, you like bread. I want to make some bread for you. I'm like, okay, honey. But when he gets into
romance hero worthy.
He's a walking romance hero. But when he gets into something, this means that this is going to be a thing.
Hyper focus.
Yeah. So now we have, 2 like baking trays, the aluminum baking trays that they use at the restaurants. We have like a bread, like the dough scraper. We have the proofing bowls. We have we have the thermometer. We have a scale. We have all this stuff. And I'm like, so we've made croissants. We've made bread. We make bread like every weekend now. I made apple cider donuts last weekend. This weekend we're making cardamom buns, bread, and pizza. So yeah.
So I'm coming over to your house this weekend.
Yeah,
I was gonna
know.
say, like, I need you guys to come eat some of this stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Mariah
I'm like,
and
this
I
is a
are
lot.
on the way.
Yes.
Okay, we're in our cars right now.
Good thing I got a new exercise bike because I'm gonna need
Sounds
it with all of this.
delicious.
But that's a fun thing to sort of like
That is a
occupy
very
us
fun
on the
thing.
weekend.
Yeah.
I love that. Yum.
What about
Right.
you, Mariah?
Well, the other weekend, speaking of things people do on the weekends, sometimes our kids will get up before us on the weekends and head
I'm
downstairs.
so sorry.
I know, right? They'll grab the iPad and play Minecraft because they're super addicted to Minecraft. I don't get it, but that's cool. So my 6-year-old, I went downstairs. I heard her up and about doing her stuff. I went downstairs and she's like, I saw a bowl in front of her by the little iPad doing her Minecraft. I'm like, oh, did you get yourself breakfast, honey? I'm so proud of you. She's like, I got it all by myself, mommy. And I look, it is a bowl of whipped cream. I said, did you get yourself a bowl of whipped cream for breakfast? Yes. I'm like, you know you're not
I
allowed
love
to
that
eat
kid.
that. She's like, but no one was up, so I thought it was okay.
That is
Well, I mean, milk,
infallible logic right there.
a
All
little
right.
sugar.
Oh my
It's got
goodness.
protein.
Child.
Milk, dairy, we are
Yeah.
gonna have trouble with this girl. Like, she's already smarter than she should be.
You have a loophole kid. That's what we call ours. The
Yes.
loophole kid.
It
Oh, the
is
finds a
loophole
loophole. Oh,
kid.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, nobody was
Every
up,
time.
so there was no one here to tell me no.
So it was
Yeah.
fine. I got it myself, Mom.
Yeah.
Going
Look how
from
self-sufficient
proud
I
to-
am.
right?
That's awesome.
I think that's actually pretty impressive. I love that.
That's very impressive. Yes, you do have to
Also,
keep an
now
eye
I
on her.
want bread and whipped,
Whipped cream.
for breakfast.
That sounds like a
Every
good
day.
meal to me.
It does.
Yeah. And then when I pass out and fall asleep at like 11 o'clock because I need a 2-hour nap. Because when you get old, you can't do that anymore, and that sucks. So, yeah. All right. Well, my happy, silly, fun thing is behind me. Perhaps you'll notice I have new bookshelf.
Look at that. I'm gonna do mine next month. My office. So I'm getting ideas. I'm stealing ideas. I'm looking.
These are what we did was we ordered the IKEA Billy bookshelves.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
So myself and my youngest built the shelves, and my oldest, who's home from college, did like the peel and stick wallpaper on the back before we slid it in.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'm really glad it was her, not me, because there was pattern matching involved, and I would have said close enough. And she was over there going, no, you can't do that. And in fact, I did one when she was like not looking, and she was not happy with me about that. So, but now I have bookshelves, and I'm super, super happy.
It's
So
I'm
gorgeous.
excited. I'm so excited to do that. This is a Billy bookshelf. It's just the brown one. And it's like, I don't know why we got brown. I guess we were trying to make it look like real furniture. But yeah, I'm looking for the Billies because I want to do something with this room because it's a bit of a mess.
We did move my bookshelf chair up into my office.
Oh yes, I saw this.
Oh, the
thing.
bookshelf
I'm
chair.
so
I
jealous.
love that.
Yes.
That is really cool. That is very cool.
I love that.
Our Billy bookcases
Feel free to
are in our
mail that
basement.
to my house. Feel free
It's
to mail
so
it to my house.
heavy. Everyone
don't
keeps saying
care.
like he should make those and sell those because my spouse made it. They're like, he should sell them. I'm like, the shipping would cost like $3,000 a load. It's so heavy.
Is it comfy though?
It is because we just put like patio furniture cushions on
Cushions
it.
in there. That's smart.
Yeah, so we can take them off and clean them because kids.
Or you can change them out.
Exactly.
That's the other thing too, because I know you're not the type to want to keep exactly the same thing for 12 years.
No, I've gotten that impression about you, Mariah.
I like that. I like that about you.
Before we dive into our letter, because it's a really good one and it's from a listener. Yay!
Yay, we love you.
How you guys both change your hair color? I don't think, Avery, you change yours as much as Mariah does, but it might be close. It might be close because like every time I look up, I'm like, it's a different one. It's amazing. But how often do you change your hair color, Mariah? Is it like
let's see. I think I did like a yearly video, a reel and a TikTok, and I think I had a new color like every month last year. It's about every 1 to 2 months.
Okay.
Because I'll dye my hair the fashion colors like Manic Panic or
Mhm.
Punky or Arctic Fox, and those wash out. And so then once they wash out and get kind of like I have it now, I'll be like, ooh, what fun color am I gonna do next?
Yeah,
Right.
get to go.
As long as I don't, dye it like black box dye,
Mhm.
it washes out pretty well.
Mhm.
And if I have to use color remover, I try to only do bleaching like once or twice a year. Otherwise, it'll fry my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Have you ever tried the color wax?
I have not. My nephews have, and they cried the entire time their mom was putting it in. I don't think she did it right. I've thought about trying the color wax though. I've done like the color chalk before.
Yeah. I think the wax, I have dark hair, so like the wax worked really well in covering it, but it does wash out really fast, like a couple of washes and it's gone. But that was great for me because I didn't want to have it permanently, but just curious if you ever tried
Did
it.
it rub
just
off on like
testing it
clothes
out.
or anything?
It didn't, but my brush, I had to get a new one.
Okay.
Oh,
And
that
I
would
was
make
like,
sense.
yeah, like no clothing, no towels, nothing, but my brush, it's still
fun.
purple. Yeah. All right, well, let's get into our lovely letter. This one is coming from V. We'll call you V.
Yay.
And if you're listening, we are so excited when we get a letter. You don't have any idea. We like texting each other like, oh my God, somebody wrote to us. So send them in. You can DM us on social media. You can go to our website and fill out the form. It's anonymous. We love hearing from you. And V wrote to us and said, Dear Avery, Rowan, and Xio, since all of you are partnered and thoughtful, I was wondering if you have we're thoughtful. I was wondering if you have advice for a neurodivergent person with a neurodivergent partner. I've had a diagnosed anxiety disorder for 7 years, and my husband has had diagnosed ADHD for about 20. We've lived together for the last 5 years, and the past 2 have felt chaotic in 800 square feet during the pandemic. Can relate to that. We get along well, but our space is limited, to put it mildly. I know that my husband does an excellent job of making dinner and taking out the trash, but has a hard time keeping up with other chores, and they tend to fall to me. We live with a mountain of his clothes and piles of papers throughout our space. I'm a bit more organized, but not a perfectionist. I'd like him to help out more. I'd like to help him more, but I realize that in the 12 years we've been together, he doesn't keep track of his own belongings too well. I also don't know if it's pandemic brain fog or if I might also have ADHD, but it's all starting to get hard to keep up comfortable and uncluttered living without a ton of effort. I feel like I'm constantly forgetting everything. I'm really not trying to self-diagnose, and we'll be addressing this with my doctor in a few months, but I have a suspicion my diagnosis may change. Any advice for figuring out a good balance of cutting clutter and respecting both neurodivergences? I can't wait to listen to more of your episodes. All the best, V. Aw, V. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, V.
Yeah. I feel like everyone is dealing, especially if you have family and kids in a space when we were all locked down and like even when the lockdowns lifted, you still couldn't go very many places. I think a lot of people are in the same boat.
Yeah. And then you add in a lot of anxiety issues, and whether that anxiety is triggered by clutter, which it may or may not be, that's different for different people. And with ADHD, possibly not even noticing the clutter. There's a lot kind of to go with there. I have my own special brain, but it is, I am neurotypical. So all of this comes from somebody who is not neurodivergent. So there is that. So take everything I've got with a salt lick. A couple of things that tips I have seen from folks who are ADHD or do deal with anxiety, which are different things. I'm aware. But some tips that I've seen that make like the little organizer part of me just incredibly happy and go, oh my God, that's fucking brilliant. It's things like see-through bins, like you can get at Target. So like they're like the little see-through filing cabinet bins that can stack high, so that if you're limited in floor space, maybe you can go vertical. And that could be a thing where maybe you can see what's in there without having to kind of dive into it if you're not ready, or if he's not ready. So it may be, the red case with the see-through cabinets is for papers. So trying to go that way, that may help. I know folks that does help who have ADHD, because if it goes in a cabinet like say for example, a regular filing cabinet and they can't see it anymore, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Out of
exactly.
sight, out of
So
mind.
Yep.
yeah. So it's that see-through aspect of it that is super helpful. Another thing, sorry, speaking of TikTok, there is a cleaning TikTok type person.
Domestic bliss.
I don't know. She's an
Right?
English accent, and she's always telling people to relax about how like
Oh, that's a
hyper-focused
different
they are
one.
on cleaning. Okay. So this one, she's always like, she's really calming. I hate this organization, but I am a shit cleaner. So I find her very like reassuring. Like I straighten, but I don't clean. And she's like, you know, do what you can. Do what you can. She's
Mhm.
like, and that's really important, is to be able to accept the fact that your level of clean or your level of organization doesn't have to meet somebody else's, as long as it is meeting your personal needs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you are, you know, it sounds like these needs are not exactly being met at this point in time, just simply because of the amount of it. So I get that. But I just want to kind of offer that as a caveat. The other little piece of advice that I have heard that is helpful is to take clothing, for example. You said that, you know, you've got mounds of
Piles of
clothes.
clothing.
If you can possibly go get a big bin, couple of big bins, shirts in one, shorts in one. Don't worry about folding. Don't worry about organizing it. Just get it in those slots if that's possible, if that works. And then if maybe you can divide those out by like say stuff just for winter. So if it's already in a bin and you know it's for winter, you just pop the lid on that and you don't worry about it, right? Or some people I know with like dressing anxiety, which I know sounds weird, but a lot of folks have it where they, you know, try on 16 different outfits before they walk out of their closet. Paring down into capsule stuff. Pick 3 colors you really like. 3 colors you really like, and those are your colors, right? Or maybe it's more, but that's the basic idea, is to pare down into that.
Like
so
having a palette.
Yeah, like
Okay.
having a palette. You know, I wear, you know, I don't know, red, white, and black.
We have a
And
friend.
that's my thing.
We have a friend who does that. It's Robin Covington, right? She's got her.
Yeah, that's where you got the red, black, and white from.
Yeah, red, white, and black. That's it. And everything she has, like everything goes together. It's amazing. And you have like a few statement pieces.
That's smart.
If you want something different, you know, like a jacket or something. But anything can be paired up with anything, and it's
And it's a lot less stressful. And like Robin does it first, I think, for speed, and also just because she's Robin and she's stubborn and those are the colors she likes. I could say that she's my best friend. But but yeah, so it is those may help. And again, please, you know, this is not exactly an area of expertise for me. So very questionable advice, but if it helps, I have heard that those are helpful tips for other folks.
I think those are universal tips.
Yeah, they're great tips. I am actually neurodiverse, and so are my kids. I have obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety, dyslexia, and audio processing disorder. And then my youngest has sensory processing disorder, and my oldest just got diagnosed with ADHD, which my sister has it, my dad has it, my spouse is just, he's like, you have it, go to the doctor. I'm like, okay, fine. After the pandemic, when they're not so overwhelmed with everyone else, maybe I'll go see about it. I already have a list of other things though. Do we need to add on more? But probably.
Like, I don't want to be an overachiever here.
Yeah, I don't need everything, honey. Let's leave some of the neurodiversities for everyone else. I have enough. Thank you. So V, I totally feel you. I also feel you because my spouse is a bit messier and a bit more of a clutter bug than I am. I'm always trying to like take things out of the house and get rid of them. And he's always like, but I need that. I'm like, but this shirt has 5 holes in it. You can't wear it anymore. Please get rid of it. So, and certainly in the pandemic when we've been all shoved together and, you know, 24/7, here's just a few of the things that have helped us and worked for us. probably my favorite one is we decided that we have a me night. If you've seen my Instagram, you'll see every Wednesday night, I call it my me night, my self-care. After we put the kids to bed, he goes down to the basement and watches his superhero shows, whatever he's watching. And I stay upstairs with my martini and I watch a horror movie. And it's delightful because I don't like
Oh, I love
superhero
that.
shows. He doesn't like horror movies. So we have our me nights on Wednesday night. That's our self-care nights. We both separate different rooms of the house and we do whatever we want to do for the whole night. We have our alone time, even though we're all stuck in the house.
Mhm.
We find a separate part of the house and we have our time to do whatever we want. It's been wonderful. I love it. So that's my suggestion for, obviously you don't have to do martinis and horror movies. Do whatever you want to do, but find one night a week where you just get some you time somewhere, even if it's just closing yourself off in the bathroom for a bubble bath. That is
Yeah.
great.
I love that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because even
it's
if
been
you
so-
can't, like, 'cause if you're in a small space, I mean, they said 800 square feet,
Mhm.
which is not too small, but if you're in a small studio apartment or whatever, you can even just like sit on opposite ends of the couch with your
Yeah.
laptop and your movie and his show.
Headphones.
You know what I mean? Like you can
Mhm.
find and just be like, cheers, enjoy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then just
I'm over
sort of like go,
here, you're
I'm over here,
there.
pillow fort, whatever you got to do. Yeah, I think that's a
Little
really good idea.
curtain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on TikTok, one of the I follow a few neurodivergent creators. One is called Domestic Bliss, where she does all kinds of tips for ADHD cleaning and stuff and keeping up the house. One of my favorite ones, because our vegetables and fruits were always going bad. Always, like,
I love this one.
yes, my
I know
daughter
this one.
loves strawberries, but they would go bad because she would forget to eat them, the one who has ADHD.
Mhm.
And so this person's advice was take everything out of those drawers. Don't use those drawers. They're in the drawers. You're going to forget about them. Put your condiments in those drawers because condiments
Mhm.
last for months. Put the vegetables and fruit on the shelf where you can see them. Ever
Mhm.
since we started that, no rotten strawberries. Because
Mhm.
my kid opens the fridge when she's hungry. Boom, they're right there at eye level. She grabbed, Mommy, can I have strawberries? Yeah, they're right there. Go get them. Grab them.
Add
We've
it to
also
the whipped cream.
exactly, and then grab the whipped cream from the
Right.
shelf. We
Yeah.
need to put the whipped cream in the drawer is what we need to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Hide that one away. Lists have also been helpful. We had huge problems getting the kids to help us clean and stuff like that. And so instead of saying, oh my gosh, this house is really dirty, we need to clean it, another tip I found was, okay, this house is really dirty. I'm going to clean up the Barbie dolls. Okay, kids, clean up all the Barbie dolls. So all they have to do is grab the Barbie dolls. Once the Barbie dolls are clean, okay, kids, grab all the laundry and put it in this basket right here. So doing tasks one at a time so it
Mhm.
doesn't overwhelm your brain because yeah, if you're going into a room and you're like, I need to clean this room and you start grabbing all the dishes, but then you see that the laundry needs to be done too. So you put
Mhm.
the dishes down and then you're on the laundry
Yeah.
and our brains just see a new task. So to stay focused, give it one task, have
Yeah.
a list so that you can check it off. Oh, checking off lists is,
So
it just
satisfying.
appeases my
That is
brain so
lovely.
much. I love it.
I love like the or replenishing TikTok where they show people like restocking the refrigerator or like restocking. Have you seen that? Have you not seen that?
I have not
Wait, are
seen
those all like the
that.
little drawers and stuff like that? Like the little
Sometimes,
taking things out? See, I love that simply because I live with teenage boys and they empty things and leave empty boxes and it makes me kill people. Not
Yeah,
literally, but
Mr.
once
X does that. I'm like, why
literally
didn't you
kill
just replace
people.
it? He's like, the toilet paper fairies came in and replaced it. I'm like, no, they didn't. I put that
No,
in
that
there.
was
Like,
me.
it's just-
Me.
but yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
agree.
sorry.
I think both of you guys um have touched on things that I do around here. Like I'm neurodivergent, but like I get overwhelmed if I have way too many things, like Mariah said, to do. So what I try making lists. Lists don't really work for me. But what I'll do is say, like, say it's Friday and something's been bothering me. It's going to say Monday morning when I get up, I'm going to do this thing. So all weekend I start thinking of how I want to do that thing. What's the best way of doing that thing? It's just like a thing. It almost gets me like excited to do it. So by the time Monday rolls around, I'm like, okay, I was going to do that thing. Let's get that taken care of. And then when it's done, the sense of accomplishment is like, oh my God, but it was just one thing. It's like one thing. And then okay, that's done. What's the next thing? And I start planning how I'm going to do that thing and all the steps I'm going to go through. It's like the planning gets me excited, and then the execution. So now I feel like I've accomplished something rather than just going, oh, I don't know, it's too much, there's too much to do. Pick that one thing, and then once you accomplish that one thing, you bathe in that sense of accomplishment, and then start planning the next thing that you want to tackle. At least that's how it works for me. Yes,
Dopamine's the best.
Chasing the dopamine.
But I also use the clear bins. I also use clear bins.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I thought that was such a brilliant idea. That was actually the Brie half of Kit Rocha on Twitter. She was talking about it one day, and she had mentioned that they do that, and I was like, oh my God, I love that idea. As an organizer person, I love that idea. But I was like, I can totally see how that would be helpful. Totally.
It's also like, I know a lot of creatives like controlled chaos around them. And I know I'm one of those people. Like you could walk in my office and there's like, stuff on the door and there's stuff over here. My husband walks in, he's like, where's the, I'm like, it's right there. You know what I mean? Exactly where it is. If you move it, if you organize it or fix it, I'm going to like, oh, but like, I think it feeds my creativity to have a little bit of chaos around me, as long as it's like stuff that I can control and am aware of,
as long
rather
as it's
than
your
just
chaos.
It's your chaos, and it's like, it's your chaos, rather than someone else.
I call this the dirty shower. So
oh yeah, I've heard you talk about this before.
Yes. Your shower, you walk in your shower and it's not always clean. I'm sure you two are lovely clean people, but everyone's shower gets dirty, okay? And you look at it and you're like, oh my God, I gotta clean this. But you take your shower and you're not grossed out, you're not freaked out. You go to a hotel and there's even
one
like
hair.
a smidge of a hint of a hair that was possibly there once, and you're like grossed out beyond belief. That's what it is. It's your chaos. It's your dirty shower, as opposed to the rest of it.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, V, whatever your dirty shower is, we hope that we've hopefully helped at least a little bit. And I will say, listeners, please, if you have tips for this, please do, share them on social media, tag us. We're happy to amplify this. This is,
I think a lot of people are dealing with the same thing. Neurodivergent or neurotypical are dealing with the same thing. And I know Rowan would say, sit down and talk about your needs, which is like, I mean, I think from what V is saying, it's a given that they've been talking about it. But I think finding ways to compromise, like, these are my hard no's, these are my soft no's, these are my I'm okay. You know what I mean? Finding those and then sort of like eliminating the things that are really, really pulling you both out of yourselves, I think would help. But,
and being able to figure out too, sort of like, maybe it's an old plastic laundry basket or something by the front door. You can toss the shoes in there as soon as you walk in, because what do you want to do when you walk in your house? You want to take off your shoes. At least I do. So pop them in there, and at least it's controlled chaos as opposed to the shoes being there and then the socks being there, and then so that may help as well.
It's amazing how like one little thing will help. I got a Mr. X works out a lot, and so he didn't want to put his wet workout clothes in the hamper, so he would like leave them on the basement stairs or like toss them in the corner in the basement, and then I'd go down to do laundry and he'd be like this like pile of wet. So I got him a separate little hamper just inside the basement door, so that when he's finished, he could just put them in there, and it works. I was like, no more mounds of like,
and it works.
Like one little thing sometimes can be like a huge difference. So
you
guys will find else's dirty shower.
Yes.
That is somebody else's dirty.
Yes.
So good luck to you, V. You will find a solution, hopefully.
Yes. So please, everyone, be like V and send in your letters if you are looking for relationship advice, friend advice, secrets, questions, concerns.
I just want to vent.
Yeah, we're here
good for venting. Yeah, we're for venting.
We're much better than catching a felony. Okay. Right. Yes, we are.
For feeling felonious, right to dear romance writer.
I think that should be our 2020.
That should be our new tag.
tagline.
Forget the questionable advice. If you're feeling felonious.
Feeling felonious? Looking for love? Oh my God.
Researching poison on anonymous Google.
Yeah. Let us help you. It's not as easy to cover up your husband's murder as it was with our grandparents.
Take this step first.
Yes, this is your first step. All right, so thank you very much for the letter V. Thank you guys for that great advice. We talked a little bit about something silly that has happened so far in 2022. But since this is our first episode of the year, wanted to ask you guys if you have goals. Are there things you're looking forward to this year? Are there things you're grateful for? Do you have like little mantras or anything else that you're like, this is my year of?
I want to hear Mariah's answer.
Oh. I don't do goals. I don't do goals or mantras or manifestations. I think that is my most hated word, actually. I hate the word manifestation.
It's all over
Ooh.
TikTok.
Ooh, I hate
all of those. Like, I used this sound and it manifested
this. I don't like it because it discounts all the hard work that people put in behind the scenes, especially authors. I mean, my goal of this year is to get through it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think with every year, I try to be better than I was the last year. I try to be a better writer. I try to be a better person, a better parent, a better partner. I'm just always trying to improve myself, educate myself on, the world around me, and just try and be better than I was last year and try and make the world better than it was last year. That's always my goal for every year that I try to do. And hopefully I succeed. I don't know. I just try to make things better. That's always my strive for the new year.
Your strive
That's
for the new year.
goal.
I think that's a great goal.
Yeah.
But it's not a goal. It's a great ungoal.
It's
a great ungoal. Yeah.
It's a great ungoal.
Like Alice in Wonderland, an unbirthday. It's an ungoal.
It's an ungoal. Yes. How about you, Xio?
Me? Oh, geez. I don't. We talked about resolutions and stuff like that in the last episode, and people have the word of the year. They'll put like a word. My word for this year is fortitude or whatever it is. And I think whatever works for you is fantastic. It doesn't, may not do anything for me, but if that's something that you can like latch onto and it will help you get to your goal or get to whatever you're trying to get, I think it's fantastic. But for me, I think I'm grateful that I'm still able to do what I love to do and that I'm healthy enough to do it, because I've seen so many people over the last 2 years, lose their livelihood, lose their loved ones, and I've lost people. And so it's like, I'm just grateful to still be here and that, that a lot of people that I love and care about are still here. And I'm looking forward to being able to see more people. Like last year, we sort of ventured out a little bit. And I think by this year, we all thought, okay, we'll be past, vaccines out. We passed it, a lot of it, and we'll be able to, visit family and stuff like that. And then feels like we've taken a couple steps backward. So I'm hoping that the rest of the year we'll be able to get back to seeing people. And probably I miss seeing writers. I miss hanging out with writers at like events and stuff, and writing conferences and readers, like I miss that like sort of environment. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So please, 2022, be better than your younger.
Don't go breaking our heart.
Seriously. Seriously. So yeah, that's me. How about you?
I am
I'll call you
definitely
Red for now because you're not gonna be Red for much longer.
Not gonna be Red for much longer. Because Riley's gonna come and fix my hair. It ain't giving me a haircut. I'm chopping it off too.
You're chopping it?
Ooh, how short?
Not super short, just probably like shoulder.
Yeah.
No, I will tell you though, what I really want to do, and I'm trying to stop myself from doing, is called a French bob, which I've had before, and I absolutely love it. And that's where you have the bangs, that go down like to your eyebrow, and then it's cut so it like curls, and the curl comes like right to your cheekbone. I love it. It's one of my favorite haircuts. But I'm trying not to do it.
Why?
So we'll
do it.
I don't know. It's I have like a hairy back of the neck. This is so weird. And I have a cowlick in the back of my neck. So whenever I get short hair, it's actually quite a bit of upkeep for me. It's less upkeep for me to have long hair than short hair. So that's more than you wanted to know. But there you go. Poor Riley. That's all you should know is my poor stylist Riley, and what she has to deal with. And she's actually super, super sweet. I like her a lot. For 2022, I think, okay, I've said this before, but this year I'm going to stick to it. Is to allow myself to, because I do love goals. I love goals like crazy, but to stop trying to set goals according to what I think I should be able to accomplish, as opposed to what I am realistically able to accomplish. So I think I should be able to do X. So therefore, I'm going to set 3X as a goal. I need to not do that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is, I'm trying to be more realistic about limits. I also have instituted coffee and cuddle time every morning at my house, and I actually quite love it.
That
so
sounds lovely.
It is 1 cup of coffee and TikTok on the couch in my office with the dogs. And they start staring at me when I don't open up my office door fast enough now, because they also like
so
coffee and
cute.
cuddle time.
They are adorable.
They are so cute.
So those are my 3 things. Realistic, being realistic, coffee and cuddle, and seeing people again. I think all would be good. I actually do have events scheduled already this year.
I do
and I'm
too.
just hoping they stay.
I'm really nervous because my first one is the first weekend in March. And I don't think that that's going to happen. Because they just was a Coastal Magic just made theirs virtual.
They just went virtual.
And the one that I'm supposed to go to is the weekend after that, and it's also in Florida.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think that that's going to happen. I mean, rather be safe. I'd rather everyone be safe and we can see you when we see you, but then put everyone at risk. You know.
I don't think my first one is till like July, I think. So hopefully, and it's here in Colorado, so I don't have to get on a plane or anything. Just
fingers crossed.
Drive up to the city.
There you go, the city.
I was so envious of people flying around. I know a lot of authors who traveled last year, and I'm like, you're braver than I am. Also, that's amazing.
I think that really was one thing of last year, and probably this year as well, is weighing those risks, you know, and looking and saying, okay, well, what makes sense with everything that I've got in my family and the people that I may expose and people who I may be exposed to, and how will that impact others around me? So most of the folks that I know that have done more trips have been folks that basically isolate at home. So it's like one of those where they're like, I don't worry about bringing something home to my 70-year-old mother, or they, you know, those types of things, or their kids, or whatever it may be. It's kind of crazy.
I have to show you guys this thing. I totally forgot about it. So we don't do gifts for the holidays, but we do stocking stuffers. And one of the ones that I got, let's see if I can show it to you. This is a Rose Apothecary lip balm.
Oh, how cute!
Yeah, Beekman 1802 did a line of Rose Apothecary stuff. So they did a lip balm, and I got this like glass hand lotion or soap dispenser that I'm going to find something really cool to put in. But like, I was like, I'm going to have Rose Apothecary. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's from Schitt's Creek. And if you haven't watched that show, then I don't know who you are, but you need to watch Schitt's Creek. But yeah, it's David Rose's wonderful little store. So yeah, they did a really cool job with the packaging and everything. But it's the lip balm that's by the register, you know.
Where's the lip balm?
Why lip balm?
Why are the mints here? Oh, my spouse.
If they had done mints, I wish they'd done mints too.
They should do mints.
Maybe somebody else.
My spouse had never watched it before, and I've of course watched it like 4 or 5 times. I love it so much. And we were looking for a new show to watch. I'm like, do you want to watch Schitt's Creek with me? And so we've been binging like 4 or 5 episodes a night. He is like, this show is amazing. I'm like, I know. I told you. So good.
And if you haven't watched it, just get past like episode 3. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that is the thing I always tell folks is, give yourself a couple of episodes. It takes a bit to warm up. And once you warmed up, you're, just settle in with your popcorn because you're not leaving your couch.
Yeah, I think we put it down like it's a book. We stopped watching it the first time we tried, and then everyone was still talking about it. I was like, okay, well, let's give it another shot. And then someone recommended it. Actually said skip the entire first season, but I think we went in like halfway through, and we're like, oh my god, this is amazing.
It really is. It was such a good show.
But if you want the lip balm and or the dispenser, it's from Beekman 1802, and they have it on their website.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Schitt's
Non-sponsored.
This
is really
no
cool.
spawn on here.
No spawn on here. No.
I got a Schitt's Creek towel in my stocking this year. Yes. And then I used a few because our family does white elephant exchange.
Oh, I love that.
And so I had a couple of Schitt's Creek towels. I was talking to my sisters. I'm like, you guys are going to fight over this? Because we'll just send each other Schitt's Creek gifts like all day long. All day.
I love that.
They're all over, like the stickers are all over my computer. I have a Schitt's Creek mouse pad.
Oh, cool.
That my sister gave me. A little obsessed.
We went to a wine tasting in upstate New York last year where the flights were named after the members of the Rose family. So it was really cool. I was like, is this like a trademark thing? Like, we were like, can you do this? But it was really, it was really cool. I won't say the name of the winery. Don't want to get them in trouble. But it was very cool. I was like, I'll have the Alexis and the David and the Moira.
Ew, David.
Ew, David.
Yeah,
I like
very
the
cool.
wine and not the label. that was my favorite episode because I'm pansexual, and so to see David like explain it just so beautifully,
perfectly,
using wines,
and
it was the first time I'd ever see like a pansexual character in the media, and so I was like tearing up. I was like, oh my god!
Oh gosh, we have to talk about Scum, but we'll do that another time.
Oh my god! I just settled back. You are going to end up watching this Swedish show.
Norwegian. Bite your tongue.
She's going to kick my ass next time we're in the same room.
What's it called?
Sorry.
Scum.
S-K-A-M.
Look, you can tell her. I've told you all about it. You can.
Scomp. S-K-A.
Wait. All right. S-K-A-M.
It's one of the characters from the show. I won't spoil it for you.
Yeah. Is it on Netflix or
no? We call ourselves the Google Drive fandom because that's the only way you can watch it. So we'll talk.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna need a hookup, basically.
Yeah, you need a hookup to watch the show.
Right. But I will tell you this, and Xio, don't disabuse me if I'm wrong.
No.
But in my head, it's like a naughtier Scandinavian Degrassi High. All right, that from when she has described it to me, that's what it's stuck in my head as, and that's probably nowhere near what it is. But I like to keep that in my mind.
No, it gets compared to that and Skins, UK Skins.
Okay. So I'm not that far
even though
off.
it's not like either of those shows, other than it's set around teenagers in high school. But yeah, but a lot of shows that are on now, like Young Royals and even Euphoria and some of these other shows, are borrowing from it. And like anytime I show it to someone who's into any of these other shows, they go, oh my god. And I'm like, because this show Scum ended in like 2017. There's other versions around the world that are still running, but the original ended 5 years ago. Oh my god, 5 years ago. So they see it and they go, oh, that's Yuri on Ice, that's whatever, that's this. And I'm like, yep, it came from Scum. So yeah, it's fun.
The origin story of them all.
The origin story of them all.
Yeah, she will hook you in. She will hook you in.
Yes.
All right.
Well, this has been fun. We missed Rowan, but we loved having you.
Yay.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful.
Tell everybody again where they can find your socials and your books and everything else.
You can find me on my website, mariahankenman.com, and I am on all the social medias as Mariah Ankenman. I'm on TikTok mostly, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think I still have a Pinterest account, although never on there.
Yeah.
Book Club, Goodreads, Amazon.
Mariah, I'm going to stop you for a second. Spell your last name.
Yes.
So that when they look you up, they don't muck it up like I do every time.
So my first name is Mariah with an H, like Mariah Carey, the singer, but I cannot sing like her. She's far more talented. And the last name is Ankenman. And
you go.
yes, I realize I should have gotten a pin name and gotten an
No.
easier last
No.
name because no one can spell it or say it. And I'm like, I should have gone like with Mariah Hart or something.
No. I love your
No.
name. Your name is
Thank
unique and it's
you.
uniquely you. You're such a
you.
unique person. And if you
It's all
guys are
fiction.
on TikTok, you really do need to follow her because
Yes.
she's such a joy to watch. And I love that you're cross-posting your videos on Instagram. I've noticed that.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you
'cause
really don't want to do TikTok, you can get Instagram.
Yes,
but
I post all my TikToks onto Reels like a day later. I don't have the energy to make 2 different sets of content.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
No, you've got books to write. So show us that hot cover again,
Yes.
please.
Yes. This is
All
The
right.
Dating Dilemma. This is technically my book backpack because I don't have print copies yet, but
Oh, that is cool.
I love that.
isn't it? I call it my introvert advertisement. I just
like that.
slap because this is just a sticker
Yeah.
that I replace every new cover. And then I just walk around the book cons or the grocery store. And I'm like,
That is
oh,
so- and
fucking brilliant.
it's like a book, the backpack.
it is.
I'm looking
Yeah,
at the
the
spine.
backpack is
That is
a book.
really cool. That's
Yeah,
very
and
cool.
then-
Love that.
And then inside it's got a little slot for like my laptop and stuff. It's so nice. My spouse got it for me years ago from ThinkGeek, which sadly went under.
Oh, I used to love
Yeah.
Think
I
Geek. I
love
still have a ton
it.
of monkey stickers laying around here somewhere because they would
Yeah.
every time you order something, they would send
Yeah,
you a
they give
little
you a
They
sticker.
would send you the stickers.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love them. And now they're not around anymore. And like people like I think you can find the backpack on eBay maybe,
Mhm.
but I haven't found any other retailer that sells it. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness I got it when they were still here.
That's
It
awesome.
saved me. All right, so the Dating Dilemma will be out today,
January 24th. Yeah.
So go enjoy
Go
yourself
buy-
this evening with a little hot fireman.
Yes,
That's
if
what
you
I
like
say.
the
That's
fake dating
self-care.
tropes with
Oh, I
cinnamon
love the fake-
rolls and awkward heroines who talk out loud when they don't mean to, because it's just not a Mariah Ankenman book if there's not awkwardness involved. But don't worry, there's plenty of steam too, because I was
gonna
writing
say
it
it's
in my
steam and awkwardness.
so steamy. My editor was like, we can add another steamy scene in here if you want. And I'm like, okay, adding another
All right.
steamy scene, another one.
Yeah,
And then
done.
I think there's like 4 or 5 in this book. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay.
All right, so it doubles in self-care. We call that self-care times 2.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we loved having you.
Well, we'll be back with a new episode. Next week, I guess.
Episode?
We'll be back with a new episode next week. Till
Next
then,
week.
y'all.
Oh, and our should we give a preview of who our guest is next week?
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Next week we are having the fab JC Lee. Speaking of awesome books and amazing people. So
We have been
that'll
so
be really
lucky
fun.
to have people like Mariah and JC, and I mean everyone that's been on here has been like incredible. Like we started this for just shits and giggles basically, and we were like, maybe we should start inviting people on, and not knowing that everyone would be so cool about it and just come and hang out with us. So
We loved having you. Thank you.
I love to be here.
Send in
Thank
your
you.
letters and be sure to go download the Dating Dilemma and have a good time tonight. And
Yeah.
then also come back and join us next week with JC Lee. And don't forget to send in your letters.
write your letters.
Thank you so much for subscribing to Dear Romance Writer. Remember to keep sending in those letters at dearromancewriter.com. We can't wait to tell you what to do. Dear Romance Writer is part of the Frolic Podcast Network. Find more podcasts you'll love, frolic.media/podcasts.